Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Powerhouse Ideas. In this video, we'll be analyzing not 7, 10 stocks. All these 10 stocks are bullish at the moment and can give a very good movement. We'll be discussing 3 things in this video quickly. 1, why have we selected this stock? Second, what can be the probable target? And third, what can be the stop loss and why? But before starting the video, let me tell you the purpose of making these videos are your learning only. To make you understand that why we have selected this stock. Please don't consider it as a tip, as an advice, because we are not SEBI registered and our purpose is your learning. Second most important thing which we need to keep in mind this week is that Nifty is right now very negative. We might see a gap down opening if the Nifty does not provide a upward movement, because right now the Nifty is negative and we might open somewhere around 17,000 level. So 17,000 level is also a 200 EMA level, and there is every possibility when we open gap down we can see a slight upward movement. But I'm not analyzing that, I'm just interpreting it that this can happen. We are not seeing the charts, but this is my analysis. You cannot say analysis. This is my understanding that this might happen on that day. So these all stocks are bullish right now, but due to a gap down, this might be a slow process in case of this stocks. The previous 14 stocks which I gave you the last week and last to last week are all performing very well. I don't think so that any of these stocks hit the stop loss. Some of the stocks have given you a very good momentum, like 25%, 30% in a week. You can check our video of Apcotex, you can check the other videos, you can check the video of Shisha Paper. They have given you a return of 25 to 30%. Almost every stock is in green. Very rare stock out of the 14 stock are in red, and if they are in red, they are very little red. So all our stocks are performing very good. If you don't believe that, kindly see the previous videos which I make on the weekend. All the stocks are performing very well. Now let us start discussing about the stocks. The first stock is Borosil Limited. We'll be doing multi-time frame analysis. Now this is the weekly time frame in front of you. If you see that why we have selected this stock, let me make you understand everything so that you can also understand. First of all, whenever you add any stock, you should see that the stock should be in an overall uptrend. So this stock is in an overall uptrend. That is check number 1. That is okay. This stock seems to be positive because it is an overall uptrend. Why we need to see that stock is in overall uptrend? Because you need to trade with the trend. If the stock is not in a long-term uptrend, you should avoid that stock. This is check number 1. Second, the stock should be bouncing from a key level. Now see this, what is happening. This stock when going up on a weekly time frame, I'll show you on a daily time frame as well. You can see over here it got resistance on this red candle. Then we spent a lot of time over here. Then we got a breakout. At this area we got some huge volume. After that huge volume itself, after this huge volume week, we are seeing correction in this stock. Now what is special right now in this stock? Let me explain you that and why we consider that this stock can be bullish in the coming weeks or months. The stock is now again at the same level of which it gave a breakout after some price action. When an area which was earlier working as a resistance comes back and works as a support, it is called change of polarity. So this stock went up, came back for retest, and now again is giving a breakout of the trend line. Let me show you this clearly on a daily time chart. Right? पहले मैं drawings clear करता हूँ, then I'll show you clearly on a daily time frame. Let us go to the daily time frame. It's loading. Give me a minute. Yeah. Now you can see that this area which I showed you on a weekly time frame is clearly was working as a resistance, and stock was finding difficulty in breaking above this. Then stock break above this with huge volume. We had a parabolic move over here, and always remember, whenever any stock, any index, any instrument runs a parabolic move, it will correct. It will correct or it will be sideways movement. So there was a parabolic move, then we saw a small correction. Now the stock was facing some resistance at this trend line, which we can see very clearly. After facing the resistance, stock reached the previous price action area and bounced with a double bottom. After bouncing with a double bottom, the stock did not created a new low which it was creating regularly. This stock broke out retest of the trend line, and from the same trend line it has given a bullish candle on the last trading day. So this stock is very bullish right now. Now this was the reason that why we selected this stock. Now let us see that what can be the probable stop loss and why. We need to know that why we are putting the stop loss. Your stop loss should be logical. हवा में नहीं लगाना है कि 5-10% नीचे लगा लिया. That won't solve the purpose. You need to put a stop loss at a very strong area which reduces the chances of your stop loss being hit. So you can see that this is a very good area where the stock has not able to break below. Over here it tried, over here it tried. It was not able to break below. So we will be putting a stop loss below this area. By putting a stop loss below this area, it will be a very safer stop loss. So I make you understood that why we are selecting this as a stop loss. Now what shall be the target? Target shall be the place where the stock started a downtrend, or which was the next resistance. So this was the area from where the stock started going down. So this will be the initial target. Reasons are clear. Now let me show you what can be the risk reward ratio over here. If we put the stop loss below this area somewhere over here and target somewhere over at the high, so we will be getting roughly 1:2 risk to reward ratio, which is a very good risk to reward ratio. So this is stock number 1, that is Borosil. Now let us move to the next stock, that is Algae Equipment. Now let us also analyze this stock on a multi-time frame analysis. I told you first thing that should be seen in any stock, that the stock should be in an overall uptrend, because we know that the stock has been in an uptrend and there are chances that the uptrend will continue. We're not trading against the stock. Now in the shorter frame as well, the stock need to give signals that the stock will continue its uptrend. So on the bigger time frame, we can see that this area over here worked as a support twice, 1, 2. And whenever the stock touches this area, it gives a bullish momentum. You can see over here, the stock has gave a bullish momentum over here, right? So we can see 3-4 green candles along with volume. Now let us move to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, you can see that the key area which we highlighted on the weekly time frame is working as a support. After bouncing from this area, the stock consolidated a while and gave a breakout, and the good part is breakout came with a volume. So this is the reason why we selected this stock. Now let us see that what can be the probable stop loss. As I told you that this area was a key area over here, so keeping a stop loss below this area somewhere over here will be a safer stop loss. The target shall be the area from where the stock started falling, this area. So if we talk about the risk to reward ratio, the risk to reward ratio comes out somewhere around this. Stop loss below this area, target over this area. A risk to reward ratio of 1.1 is available right now. But the stock can give a good momentum in the coming week because of the volume. So it is very much achievable. But the traders who don't trade such low risk to reward ratio can avoid this stock. Now let us move to the next stock. The next stock is Tata Elxsi. This stock is favorite of most of the traders. It has given a very good run up, and again it is giving every possible indication that this stock will run again. Let us go to the weekly time frame. I'm going very quick because I want to keep the video short. You can see that this area over here was working as a resistance. Now the stock went above and came back to that area, and again that area which was working as a resistance is now working as a support. This is change of polarity for you. Now let us move to the daily time frame and see what the stock is doing. On the daily time frame, we saw when after giving a breakout, the stock came back, it find difficulty in breaking below. Three doji candles told us that this area won't be broken because this area was earlier working as a resistance, now is working as a support. And this volume over here is showing that our analysis might go in the right direction. Over here, the next target is very small, but considering this stock a fundamentally good stock and corrected a bit along with taking a support at the key area, give us high chances that this stock can reverse from here and give a good bull run. Now let us talk about the stop loss. Stop loss, as we can see that this area which I have highlighted over here was working as a resistance, now as a support. So if you keep a stop loss below the support, there are very less chances that your stop loss will be hit. So this can be the probable stop loss. Target can be kept as per you because this is a very small target. Okay, very small target, and anticipating that this has been in an overall uptrend, it is a good stock. We can see a good momentum in this stock in the coming weeks. Let us move to the next stock. The next stock is Jamna Auto. I'm personally trading in this stock. I have an open position in this stock. Let me tell you what made me took this position. You can see the stock was in an overall uptrend. The stock was in an overall uptrend. So this was criteria number 1 for selecting this stock. Second reason why I selected this stock was, you can see that after an uptrend, this stock started correcting. After correction, we can see on the charts. Let the chart come again back. Wait a second, guys. I think there's some network issue. No, the network issue is not there. Yeah. So after an uptrend, the stock entered into a bit correction. This area over here was the last resistance. I kept this stock in radar and highlighted this orange area. As soon as the stock broke above this area, I entered at the area highlighted. I entered at the starting of this green region. And currently, my stock trade is in profits. Let me show you one more important thing. Let us draw the levels again. You can see that this was the level which the stock was not able to break above. The stock gave a breakout with some huge volumes, and that made me enter in the stock. The very next day, we saw a retest. This red candle showed that there is a retest, and we saw a continuation. So this was the reason why I selected the stock. The stop loss shall be below the previous support. This is the previous support area. We will be keeping a stop loss over here. The first target shall be 122, and if it breaks above this level, then we can see further targets. But right now, this stock is very much bullish. Let us move to the next stock. The next stock is TCS Express. Guys, one more important thing. When I discussed about Jamna Auto and any other stock, we select the stocks which are having a very good risk to reward ratio. Means those stocks have already corrected. We have taken an entry in those stocks when they have already corrected. So we reduce the chance of further correction. It is not that it will not correct more, but the chances are less that after such a correction, the stock will correct more, because overall it has been in an uptrend. The next stock is TCS Express. TCS Express was in an overall uptrend, point number 1. Then the stock started a downtrend like this. After the downtrend, the stock started consolidating. And if you have a bit of knowledge about technical analysis, you must be very much aware that after a downtrend, if a stock has to start a new uptrend, it will not start a new uptrend as it is. It will consolidate and then start a new uptrend. That can be a healthy start because it creates a base, and keeping a stop loss below that base will be a safer stop loss. So you can see after a consolidation, after a downtrend, this stock has been consolidating, and gradually this stock has been going upwards. And the good part over here is that the stock has been generating some good volumes. Means people are buying this stock right now. So this is one more positive about this stock. The good entry in this stock will be when this channel over here, which I just draw, will break above. And there are very high chances that we see a breakout over here. The stop loss shall be middle of the channel, because if the stock breaks between the channel, again in the channel, then it can again get into a sideways movement. So we'll be keeping a stop loss in the middle of the channel and targeting the next resistance. That is the area from which the stock started falling. For the stop loss, we will be keeping a stop loss below the support, because this is an area where the stock has not able to close below. I'm making it very quick. I hope you are able to understand. The next stock is Mariko. Again, not to repeat that the stock has been in an overall uptrend. After an uptrend, we saw a correction over here. This is second positive, that the correction has already been done. After the correction, we saw a consolidation, and now the stock has started spending some time near its resistance. The range which we see over here, the yellow range, the stock has started spending time near that, and there are every possible chances that the stock will break above this. So good entry over here will be, we can draw a resistance over here like this. When the stock breaks above this, an entry can be taken and a stop loss shall be below the previous support, somewhere over here. The reason very similar, very explanatory and very logical, because this area was not able to be broken below. So keeping a stop loss over here will be a healthier stop loss. For long-term traders or short-term to mid-term traders, they can keep a stop loss below this area because this area is a strong support. And for very short-term traders, they can keep a stop loss over here. Target shall be the next resistance from which the stock started falling. The risk to reward ratio you can calculate yourself. I am just explaining the stocks to you. Now, why we are discussing this stock? The name of the stock is Maruti. We can see that this stock was in a sideways to an upward movement. We can see the stock is gradually moving upwards. So if we see this pattern being formed, then the stock should continue its pattern and create a new high. Every time the stocks create a new high, so following the previous history, the stock will again create a new high. This is what we analyze. Second most important thing, after falling, the stock is creating over here a double bottom, or you can say a higher low. The stock created a low over here, but this time it created a low which was higher than the previous low. We can also see a breakout coming over here. This was the previous resistance over here. Now the stock has tried to close above this and almost closed in an area where it was not able to close before. And the volume is also gradually increasing. In this case, the stop loss shall be below this double bottom because 2 times the stock has not been able to break below this area, and the target shall be the next resistance from where the stock started falling. So this is Maruti for you. Let us move to the Vinati organic stock. The reason of selecting this stock is a breakout. Let us see this stock on a weekly time frame. On a weekly time frame, you can clearly see that this area over here was working as a range. Thrice this stock tried to break above this area but failed. However, in the last week, this stock has closed above that area on a weekly chart. That's a big positive. And the good thing is it has closed with a green candle. Now let us move to the daily time frame. The daily time frame clearly tells that when we saw a breakout over here on the last to last trading day, the stock tried to enter again into the range but failed. And on the very next day, we saw a continuation to the upwards. So this is a breakout and a retest for you. The good part is that the breakout happened with the volume and the breakout is sustaining. So stop loss in this case will be the mid of the range, because we keep below the range, it will be a very deep stop loss. We won't be trading with this deep stop loss. We'll be keeping a stop loss in the mid of the range. And as this stock is in a all-time high zone, so we won't be guessing any targets. Targets as per your greed will be the ultimate target for you. So this is a breakout stock, Vinati Organics. Let us move to the next stock, that is Gati. Again, not to repeat again, this stock has been in an overall uptrend. After an overall uptrend, this stock has corrected a lot. And price action works as per demand and supply. You can see that over here, there was a demand zone. Exactly the same area worked as a demand zone again. The stock bounced from this area, created a higher low and gave a breakout. So what can be the possibility of this stock? The stock, after giving a breakout of the previous high, give a breakout candle, big green candle with volume. It retested this area, and we can see a continuation over here. The stop loss shall be this area over here below this low, and a target of the next high resistance from where the stock started falling can be the target. So this stock is also bullish, corrected a lot and again starting a new movement. If the stock breaks above the all-time zone again, we can see some good momentum in the stock. And the Korea stocks are already bullish. We have seen TCS Express, we have now seen Gati. The Korea stocks are bullish right now, so we are very positive about this stock because the stock has bounced from a very good area which has earlier worked as a demand zone and again worked as a demand zone. Let us move to the next stock, Jubilant Ingrevia. This stock has tortured many investors and traders. This stock is a fundamentally good chemical company which has been in an overall uptrend. After getting into an overall uptrend, this stock started consolidating and a downward movement we saw in this stock. After this downward movement over here, this was the key area which I highlighted over here. and the same area has again worked as a support. This stock braked below this area but did not continue the downward movement. However, it created a pattern called VCP, volatility contraction pattern. And the good part over here is that during the volatility contraction pattern, we can see some volume spikes over here. Some big green candle can be seen. So what can be the probable entry parameter for this? Whenever we get a breakout of this area, this will be a breakout of this triangle pattern also, and also a break above the previous resistance. Whenever we get a breakout of this area, we can see some good momentum in the stock. Right? The stock has already corrected a lot, and we can see now a good momentum and an uptrend in the stock. The stop loss shall be below the support because this area has worked twice after a breakdown as a support, and keeping a stop loss over here will be a safer stop loss. The target shall be the ultimate resistance from where the stock started following. I hope अभी तक आपको स्टॉक बहुत सारे पसंद आए होंगे. ये स्टॉक को निकालने के लिए I have analyzed so many stocks, and believe me, it takes so many hours to find out the stocks, and it takes only few minutes to share with you. So I'm also saving your efforts which you are going to put in finding these stocks. You can keep the stocks in your watch list and see when can you get a good moment. One pro tip, if you want to enter into any stock an early basis, then you can move to a much more smaller time frame, that is an hourly time frame. If on Monday, for example, you see a breakout over here on an hourly time frame, you can wait on an hourly time frame itself for a retest of this area and continuation. You need not wait for the whole day. You can see on the smaller time frame that whether the stock has broken about, retested, and again continuing. That can be also a good entry and a very quick entry. I personally take entries like this only. I get very good risk to reward ratio following this setup. Let us move to the next stock. I guess I've already completed the 10 stocks. Now the last important thing, which I already told you in between, that the SGX Nifty has been trading around 17,015. We closed somewhere around, let us see what was the closing rate. 17,050 is the SGX Nifty trading level right now. We closed somewhere around 17,171. So if we say that a Nifty shall open around the same level, that is 17,000 ka level, so 17,000 ka level comes somewhere around this 2200 EMA. So if we open above after a gap down above 17,000, we can see a green day on Monday. And all the stocks which we shared with you can give a good breakout. But always remember that risk before reward. You need to keep your stop loss fixed, and as soon as you hit the stop loss, you need to move out of the stock. Even if you take trade in all the 10 stocks which I shared, as per the analysis I shared, and if you keep fixed risk to reward ratio, then also you will be profitable. I hope you like this video and you like the content which we share with you. If you are liking it, kindly share it with your friends as well so that they can also gain. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till that time, take care. Bye bye. Jai Hind.